to be gay. Sing
The most controversial songs of the 70s were just the loudest ones. They were not. Some were jokes that turned sour. Some were records that radio stations feared more than they understood.
Some call it Tommy.
One punk single attacked the crown during a royal celebration, vanished from the airwaves, and somehow became louder because no one was allowed to play it. Another country song made freedom sound like a smile, and one rock classic became harder to carry every year. After this, the old records will not sit still anymore. Number 15, White Punks on Dope by The Tubes.
White punks on dope. White punks on dope.
It sounded like a drugged-out circus. It was really an insult aimed at the audience standing closest to the stage. The Tubes were looking at wealthy Hollywood kids.
Dudes are living in the ghetto.
The kind with money, toys, and too much time to destroy themselves. They turned that scene into theater, all fake glamour and ugly laughter. The title sounded like Celebration if you did not listen closely.
I go crazy, 'cause my folks are so bleeding rich.
But underneath it was disgust. Listen to the way the song struts. It feels proud and rotten at the same time. That is why the controversy still works. It was not just trying to shock parents.
Sounds real classy, living in a chateau.
It was showing a generation laughing while it wasted itself. And once the joke starts to curdle, the next scandal feels almost polite, because it came from a former Beatle who wanted to cut loose.
And I met you at the station. You were standing with a bootleg in your hand.
Number 14, Hi 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 by Wings.
We're gonna get high, high, high with the music on.
How does Paul McCartney get treated like a danger to public morals? He writes a song with a grin. The BBC banned Hi 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 because the words sounded too suggestive for British radio.
Bye, 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 till the night is gone.
Some heard drug references. Some heard sex. McCartney later said one line had been misheard, claiming he sang Polygon, not the dirtier phrase people thought they caught.
Get high, high, high in the midday sun.
But he also knew exactly why the song made them nervous. It had that loose, sweaty, after-midnight feel. That is what makes it funny. The same voice that helped define the Beatles was suddenly being scolded like a reckless kid.
Well, take off your face, recover from the trip you've been on.
You can hear him enjoying the trouble. But the next artist did not stumble into scandal by accident. Frank Zappa walked straight toward it, smiling the whole way.
I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney.
Number 13, Bobby Brown Goes Down by Frank Zappa.
I do not think I'm too extreme and I'm a handsome son of a bitch.
The strangest thing about this song is not that it offended people. The strangest thing is that crowds sang along. Bobby Brown Goes Down was too filthy for polite American radio. But across parts of Europe, it became a real hit. That is the joke inside the joke. Zappa wrote a song that pushed bad taste until it nearly broke, and somehow it turned into something people knew by heart.
Now I smell like Vaseline and I'm a miserable son of a bitch.
It was not rebellion with a raised fist. It was rebellion with a smirk. You can almost feel him daring the listener to decide where the line is. Then the line moves again.
Know my change, but I'm still kinda cute. Got a job doing radio promo.
That was Zappa's whole game. And after that kind of dirty grin, punk arrived with something shorter, faster, and even harder to explain to daytime radio.
Tried it just for once, found it alright for kicks. But now you find out that it's a habit that's
Number 12, Orgasm Addict by Buzzcocks.
an orgasm addict. You're an orgasm addict.
Some titles do not need a scandal. They are already one. Orgasm Addict arrived like a dare from a young band that had not yet learned how to be embarrassed. The BBC wanted no part of it.
Casanova, you're no Joseph. It's a live on a fucking yourself to death. Oh.
And the sleeve art pushed the provocation even further. It was punk in its raw teenage form. Blunt, funny, nervous, and impossible to clean up for polite company.
With school kids, winos and heads of state.
Pete Shelley later looked back on it with discomfort, which gives the whole thing a strange aftertaste. That is the part that stays with you. Youth throws the brick.
Butchers, assistants, and bellhops. You found them all here and there.
Age has to look at the broken glass. The song still sounds like someone laughing too loudly in a room full of adults. But the next controversy was smoother. It sounded charming until the story turned.
You drink champagne and it tastes just like cherry cola.
Number 11, Lola by the Kinks.
Asked her name and in a dark brown voice she said Lola.
The BBC did not panic over the part everyone remembers. It panicked over a soft drink. Lola had one of the boldest stories to slip into mainstream rock radio. But the British broadcast problem was the original Coca-Cola line. Because the BBC had rules against product placement. Ray Davies had to change it to Cherry Cola. That is almost too perfect. A song quietly bending pop's ideas about gender was delayed by a brand name.
Can't understand why she walked like a woman and talked like a man on the Lola.
Still, other listeners heard the deeper challenge. Some stations were uneasy with the reveal, because the song made confusion sound warm, human, and unforgettable. You sang along before you understood what you were accepting. That was its quiet power. The next Rolling Stones scandal would not need a hidden turn. It put the offense right on the surface. Number 10, Star Star by the Rolling Stones. The real title was Starfucker. Star Star was the compromise, and even that could not make it safe. By the early 70s, the Rolling Stones were not asking permission from anyone. Atlantic pushed for the cleaner title, but the chorus still carried the original sting. The song was crude, swaggering, and full of celebrity sleaze, the kind of rock arrogance that made the Stones sound amused by their own bad behavior. The BBC still wanted no part of it. That is the real controversy. Changing the name did not change the attitude. The Stones had turned outrage into part of the performance. But the next fight cut deeper, because it was not just about dirty words. It was about identity, insult, and who gets to call something satire.
And a hairdo that rings is a horny little Jewish princess.
Number 9, Jewish Princess by Frank Zappa.
I want a nasty little Jewish princess.
Zappa thought he was mocking a stereotype. A lot of people heard the stereotype getting louder. Jewish Princess landed in that dangerous space where satire and insult start looking too much alike.
Well, she can swallow my pride.
The Anti-Defamation League objected to it, and the argument moved beyond ordinary radio complaints. Zappa had built his career on provocation, but this one touched something more personal. It was not just dirty, it was cultural.
Who squeaks when she comes? I don't want no troll.
It asked listeners to decide whether he was exposing ugliness or simply repeating it with a grin. That is why this entry needs more weight than a normal shock song. When music uses a stereotype,
And with a pee-pee that's snapping all up inside.
the joke never lands in just one place. Some hear mockery, some hear harm, and sometimes the title alone can travel farther than the explanation, which is exactly what happened with the next song.
The beach with a gun in my hand, staring at the sea, staring at the sand, staring
Number 8, Killing an Arab by The Cure.
at the stranger, killing an Arab.
The title sounded like an attack. The song was actually reaching for a book. Killing an Arab was based on Albert Camus and the story of a man trapped in alienation and violence.
Killing an Arab. I can turn and walk away or I can fire the gun.
But once the title left the page and hit the air, context could not keep up. Some listeners heard racism, some heard a threat. Later controversy grew so serious that the band had to explain the literary source and distance the song from hate.
I'm alive. I'm dead.
That is the danger of a title this sharp. It arrives before the meaning does. You can defend the intention, but you cannot control the wound it opens in someone else. The Cure were not writing a simple slogan.
Feel a super jump, smooth in my hand, staring at the sea, staring at the sand.
They were writing from a novel. But radio does not hand out footnotes, and the next song slipped taboo after taboo into the mainstream with a smile so calm that people almost missed it.
Her eyebrows on the way, shaved her legs, and then he was a she. She says, "Hey babe."
Number 7, Walk on the Wild Side by Lou Reed.
Said, "Hey honey, take a walk on the wild side."
This song did not kick the door open. It just walked in wearing sunglasses. Walk on the Wild Side carried the outsiders of Andy Warhol's world onto mainstream radio.
In the back room, she was everybody's darling.
Trans identity, street life, drugs, and sex were all inside it. Yet Lou Reed sang like he was telling you a secret at the end of the bar. A censored radio version existed, but many stations played the rougher version anyway.
Babe, take a walk on the wild side, and the colored girls go doo-doo-doo.
Somehow, one of the strangest songs of the decade became his biggest hit. Listen to how relaxed it feels. That coolness is the trick. It made Forbidden Lives sound human, familiar, and impossible to ignore.
Here and a hustle there. New York City is the place where they said, "Hey babe."
If you are enjoying these hidden stories, subscribe and stay with us, because this only gets more intense from here. After Reed's calm New York whisper, punk stopped whispering completely.
She was a girl from Birmingham. She just had an outburst.
Number 6, Bodies by Sex Pistols.
Pauline, she lived an extreme. She wasn't out when it killed her, baby.
This is where the list turns colder. The shock is no longer playful. Bodies took one of the most painful arguments in public life and dragged it into punk, without comfort, polish, or easy answers. The song dealt with abortion in a way that was harsh enough to make even some punk listeners flinch. John Lydon later rejected the idea that it was neatly for or against anything. That makes it even more unsettling. It was not a clean protest sign. It was disgust, confusion, and moral panic turned into noise. The Sex Pistols made plenty of people angry, but this one felt different. It was not just attacking authority. It was forcing listeners to stand inside a subject most people wanted kept far away from pop music. But the next rebel used controversy for a clear demand, and he made censorship look small.
Some call it tamping.
Number 5, Legalize It by Peter Tosh.
Legalize it, yeah, yeah.
This was not a novelty drug song. It was a demand aimed straight at the system. Peter Tosh was not asking politely. Legalize It came from a man who had been harassed, judged, and pushed around for something he believed should never have been criminalized.
Yeah, I man will advertise it.
When Jamaican radio refused to give the song room, Tosh found another way to make the words travel. He put the lyrics in print, turning censorship into free publicity.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best thing you.
That is the part that still feels powerful. If they would not let people hear it, he made sure people could read it. The groove sounds relaxed, but the message is not relaxed at all.
Even my lawyer too.
It is firm, proud, and impossible to shame. And from that banned demand for freedom, the next song turned identity itself into a public chant.
For no reason at all, lining the customers up by the wall.
Number 4, Glad to Be Gay by Tom Robinson Band.
Sing if you're glad to be gay. Sing if you're happy that way.
Some songs sound controversial because they are rude. This one was controversial because it was honest. Glad to Be Gay did not hide behind metaphor. Tom Robinson wrote about police raids.
Hey, sing if you're glad to be gay.
press hypocrisy, street violence, and the fear that followed gay people through ordinary life. British radio treated it carefully, but listeners understood what was happening.
In the Sunday Express, molesters of children.
This was not just a slogan, it was a door opening in public, with people on the other side finally hearing themselves named. That is why the song still carries weight. It sounds brave because it had to be brave.
And sing if you're glad to be gay. Sing if
You can feel the risk inside the chorus. A private truth was being sung out loud, and after that public act of courage, the next controversy moved into country music, where one woman made freedom sound like a smile.
You whined me and dined me when I was your girl.
Number 3, The Pill by Loretta Lynn.
And your brooder house, 'cause now I've got the pill.
The scandal was not just birth control. The scandal was how happy she sounded. Loretta Lynn did not sing The Pill like someone begging for permission. She sang it like a woman who had finally found a little control over her own future.
All these years I've stayed at home while you had all your fun.
That was what made radio nervous. Country music had heard songs about marriage, babies, duty, and sacrifice. But here was a married woman singing about choice, relief, and the freedom to breathe.
Oh, maternity dress I've got is going in the garbage.
You can hear why it scared people. It is cheerful in a way that feels dangerous. The smile is the rebellion. Some stations pushed back.
Your hands play while holding a couple in my arms.
But the song still reached listeners who knew exactly what she meant. And if Loretta made radio uncomfortable with women's freedom, the next song forced rock fans to face something much harder. Number 2, Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. That riff still kicks the door open. Then the words walk in behind it. Brown Sugar is one of the hardest Rolling Stones songs to hold in your hands now. The music is explosive, dirty, and alive. But the lyrics drag in slavery, race, sex, power, and exploitation, all tangled together in a way that has only grown more uncomfortable with time. This is not a controversy that faded. It got louder as people listened more closely. That is what makes it such a strange memory. You may remember the thrill before you remember the words. Then the words arrive. And the song changes shape. It becomes a fight between the body and the conscience. But the final song did not slowly age into scandal. It arrived that way, right in the middle of a royal celebration. Number 1, God Save the Queen by Sex Pistols.
God save the Queen!
A punk record attacked the crown during a royal celebration. Then the silence around it made it louder. God Save the Queen landed during Queen Elizabeth's Silver Jubilee, when Britain was supposed to be waving flags. Not hearing Johnny Rotten's sneer at the monarchy. The British Broadcasting Corporation banned it. Other broadcasters kept away from it. But that only made the record feel more dangerous, like something the whole establishment was trying to hide. That is why it belongs at number 1. The band did not weaken the song, it completed it. Punk was built on the idea that outrage could become electricity, and this record proved it. Even the chart controversy became part of the myth. The 70s gave us plenty of scandal, but this one sounded like a nation arguing with itself. These songs were not just records, they were arguments pressed into vinyl. Some were crude, some were brave, some became harder to hear with time. But every one of them tells us what the 70s feared, defended, misunderstood, or refused to say out loud. And that is why we keep going back there together.